Okay, so starting with the number 8, it says that parallelogram ABCD has these vertices. It gives you 3 of the points, and you're trying to find the 4th one. So what you would do is make a coordinate plane. We're going to graph the 3 points. Looks like A is at 0, 0. B is at 2, 4, I believe. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And C is at 10, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3, 4. Okay, so then what I would do is just connect your dots just to see where you're at. Okay. You're graphing a parallelogram, meaning opposite sides are parallel. So this side would then have to be parallel to this side over here. So this is going down 4 over 2. So if I go down 4 over 2, I will get this right here. Same slope. You can connect the dots. So this right here is my answer, and that is at 8, 0. So that would be, I believe it's A, right here. Okay, then the next one, number 11, with the graphing, it says ABCD is now a rectangle. It gives you 3 points, and you're finding the 4th one. Did you get C? If you got C, you did it right. Good job. Okay, so plotting the points, I'm going to use a different color. Negative 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Then 7, 0, right here. 7, 3. And then, so this is the 2 sides. And then to make it a full rectangle, I would have to put a point right here. So that's the answer there. And that is at negative 5, 3. And it makes a rectangle. Okay, so the answer is C, like I said. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the top. Now we're going to start doing solving with all the calculations and all that jazz. Let me get my cheat sheet here. Okay, so starting at the top, it says find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex 30-gon. To find the sum of the measures of the interior angles, we were given an equation, and it looks like this, n minus 2 times 180. So all we do is we put the number of sides in for n and then solve it. By the way, I go back and forth between sides and angles. The number of sides and angles are always the same. So whether I'm saying sides or angles, it's the same thing. So 30 sides, so we put 30 in here. 30 minus 2 times 180, 28 times 180. And if you were to plug that in a calculator, it comes out to 5040. 5040. So B. Okay, number 2 is super easy, but it could trip you up. So it says find the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of a convex 21-gon. No matter what shape, 360 degrees for all polygons. So the exterior angles always sum to 360 no matter how many sides it has. So the answer is just 360. No calculations needed. It's just 360. Then number 3 goes off of the same concept, but 3 is like as challenging as it could get. So 3 might be one that you want to practice a few times. It says if the measure of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 108, find the measure of each exterior angle. Well, for the exterior angle, I would need to do 360 divided by the number of sides, but I need to figure out how many sides we have. So 108 for each angle times the number of angles would give us the sum of the interior angles. And then we can set that equal to this, the sum of the interior angles. But I'm going to write it like this because it's easier to work with. And now I'll solve for n, the number of sides. N equals 5. That's the number of sides, but it's asking for the measure of each exterior angle. Remember, the sum of the exterior angles is 360. Then we divide by the number of sides, and we'll get 72, which is B. Okay, now it gets easy again. Number 4, for parallelogram ABCD, what is it, Laurie? Find the value of x. Well, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent, so we can set these equal and solve for x. And x solves to 16. Number 5, which of the following is a property of a parallelogram? So just kind of reviewing what the properties of a parallelogram are. I'm going to draw a parallelogram right here. Here's our parallelogram. With a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. Also, your opposite angles are equal. And the diagonals bisect each other. So they aren't necessarily equal, they just meet at each of their midpoint. So this is equal to this, and this here is equal to this. Okay, now I can look at the answer choices and really decide what's what. Diagonals are congruent. No, I can even see visually that's not the case. Diagonals are congruent in a rectangle, but not a parallelogram. Diagonals bisect the angles. No, that's for a rhombus. Rhombus. Nope. Diagonals are perpendicular. No, I can see that there. Diagonals are perpendicular in a rhombus or a kite. And then diagonals bisect each other. That is true. Yes. Okay, next one. Find the values of x and y. Well, we have a parallelogram. It says it's a parallelogram. That means this is parallel to this. And then this line right here is a transversal. So your alternate interior angles will be congruent. So this will be equal to this. And then this would have to be equal to this. So from there, you can set them equal. 4x equals 24. And 32 equals y minus 10. And we can solve for x and y. Okay. Number 7 gets super easy again. It says it's a parallelogram. It wants to know what x is. In a parallelogram, the opposite angles are equal, so x equals 46. Moving on. We already did number 8. It's on the graph. Number 9, which of the following is a property of all rectangles? Okay, well, rectangle, just to review, rectangle looks like this, 90-degree angles. Does it have 4 congruent sides? No, that would be a square or rhombus. Diagonals are perpendicular. If you didn't remember whether diagonals were perpendicular, you could draw the diagonals, and you can see that those do not form 90-degree angles. So, no, diagonals are perpendicular in a rhombus or a square. Diagonals bisect the angles. No, that is a rhombus. And then 4 right angles. Yes, rectangles do have 4 right angles. Okay, number 10. It says ABCD is a rectangle with these diagonals. It says AC is 2x plus 10 and BD is 56. Find the value of x. In a rectangle, the diagonals are congruent. So in a rectangle, diagonals are congruent. So therefore, AC equals BD, and we can set this equal. So 2x plus 10 equals 56, and then we will solve. X equals 23. Okay, 11, we already did that one. Number 12, for rhombus ABCD, find the measure of angle 1. Key here is it is a rhombus. Rhombus, the diagonals intersect at a 90-degree angle. They're perpendicular, so therefore measure of angle 1 is 90 degrees. Okay, next, moving up to the top, it says find the measure of PRS in this square right here. PRS, identify the angle. It's talking about this angle right here. Since this is a square, the diagonals bisect at 90 degrees, 90, 90, 90. And then these angles here would be 90 degrees, and then the diagonals bisect that angle. So this would be 45, 45, 45, and it's 45 all the way around. You don't really have to label all this, but I am. And then PRS would just be 45 degrees. Choose a pair of base angles. A and B are base angles, and so is D and C. So is A and C? No. B and D? No. A and D? Nope. D and C? Yes, that's it. Okay, Miss Silva's getting bored. 15. Angle D. Right here. Well, we have a parallel line right here, a parallel line right here, and then this is a transversal. So therefore, this angle and this angle would be supplementary. We'll call this x. 136 plus x equals 180. And then we solve. X equals 44. Okay, so now we're going to start looking at the mid-segment of a trapezoid. It says the hood of Olivia's car is the shape of a trapezoid, so I'm sketching that out right now. There we go. And it says the base bordering the windshield measures 30 inches, and the base on the front of the car is 24. So this is 30, 24. What is the width of the median of the hood? Sometimes they call mid-segment a median. Same thing right here. This would be the middle of 24 and 30. Some of you might be able to do that in your head. Some might not. If you cannot do it in your head, just add them together and divide by 2 to find the middle. 24 plus 30 divided by 2. 54 divided by 2 is 27. So 27. (17) is another mid-segment one. Says the length of one base of a trapezoid is 44, median's 36, and the other base is 2x plus 10. So again, just drawing out a trapezoid. Okay. Length of one base is 44, median's 36, 44. And then this part right here, it's saying it's 2x plus 10. Ooh. Okay. Well, what I would do is find this length here and then just put that length equal to the expression to solve for x. So here from 36 to 44, that is plus 8. And then to get this number, you could just subtract 8 from 36. And 36 minus 8 would be 28. So 2x plus 10 equals 28. And we solve. X equals 9. They bring in some algebraic expressions. Okay, given trapezoid ABCD with median EF, so this is the median. Okay, which of the following is true? So you would find the average of this and this. You would add BC plus AD, divide that by 2, and you'd get the length of EF. And then looking at the inch choices, not this one, not that one. Oh, there it is. Am I going too fast, too slow? Some of y'all are already done, which is awesome. 19. For those that went through and finished it, did you get 21? It's hard. Yeah. Okay. 19. Here we got a kite. Find the measure of angle S. Okay, in a kite, these opposite angles are congruent. Then the 4 angles of a quadrilateral add to 360 degrees. So what I'm going to do is subtract these two numbers to see what's left over. Get 200. Then we take 200 and spread it evenly among those two angles. So 200 divided by 2 equals 100. So S is 100 degrees. And 100 goes here too, if anybody cared. Okay, number 20. JKLM is a kite, find JM. Once to find this length. With a kite, the diagonals are perpendicular. So then we have right triangles, and we can use that right triangle to find that length. We're going to use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and that'll give us the length of JM. So 8 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared, 64 plus 25, 89. Some of you might have gotten this on your homework. Square root of 89 equals c. Okay, 21 is a more challenging problem. I'm only doing it with my honors classes today. It's not something that's going to be on the test. I took it off, but I'm just going to review it with you because it goes over algebra that you're going to need for Algebra 2 next year. Anyway, so we'll just try it out. It says find x in the measure of w, y, z. So we're trying to find this angle right here in the rhombus right here. With a rhombus, the diagonals are perpendicular. So you have a 90-degree angle here. Sorry, that's supposed to say 90. And then with the triangle, then these two angles would have to equal 90, like added up. So that's how we're going to set it up. We're going to say, okay, x squared plus 3x plus 20 equals 90. Okay, we can't solve it the way we normally do because this squared right here, we have to do it a little bit different. We're actually going to factor it, but in order to factor it, we need this equal to 0. So we're going to get 90 over here. Anybody remember how to factor from Algebra 1? Maybe? No. Oh, some of you do? Okay, cool. So to factor this, we need two numbers that multiply to this number and add to this one. So 70, 10, and 7, it would be positive 10, negative 7 would multiply to negative 70 and add to the positive 3. So we're going to factor this as x plus 10, x minus 7 equals 0. Then we'll set each one of these equal to 0 to solve for x. We get two answers. So what we would do at this point is plug in the answers to x and see if anything doesn't make sense at all. So when I plug in 7 here and solve, 7 squared would be 49, and 3 times 7, 21 plus 20 would be 41. That pretty much makes sense. That could be 49 degrees, that could be 41 degrees. But when you plug in negative 10, you'd get this is negative 10 degrees, like this whole thing. 3 times negative 10 would be negative 30, plus 20, negative 10, and then this, that wouldn't be 100 degrees either. It doesn't work. So this is not a solution. You just throw it out. And the answer is x equals 7. Okay, so that is it. Just leave this out on your desk. I'm going to come around and check it. I'm going to stop recording.